In this video, we're going to cover the installment plans, adding or dropping a course, deadline dates and optional fees, choosing the right deferral, severance of service fee, and the differences between a drop and a withdrawal. In my opinion, students overlook various things when it comes to different parts of the payment plans. If we were to look into the installment plan, there's some options that students overlook. First of all, students believe that the installment plan is a payment plan that is concrete. Whenever you drop a class or add a class, you have put your installment plan in jeopardy of being recalculated. Even if you made your first payment, it can be recalculated, and let's say you added on a course. For example, you added on a course and then it had it on extra fees. So it can recalculate, and even though you made your first payment, you can have additional payment put onto your first payment. So if you didn't pay attention to it in your My U of H account, you could be in jeopardy of getting your courses dropped. Another thing is, when it comes to it, students have to make sure they make all their deadline dates. Because if you don't make your deadline dates, you put yourself in jeopardy of being dropped. Also, students need to make sure that if any doesn't cover any optional fees, so if you were to get parking citations or if you were to get a parking decal, that would be due on your first payment date. It wouldn't be pushed to your second payment date. So that's some of the things that students overlook when it comes to the installment plans. They just don't pay attention to their due dates and their items due as vigorously as they should to make sure they don't get dropped. Another thing I would say when it comes to the deferral, you just need to make sure you choose the right deferral. The 90-day deferrals for students that are off campus. The short-term deferrals for students that are on campus. So all students that are on campus need to make sure they choose the short-term deferral. You, if you're a housing student, need to make sure you choose the short-term deferral. And then you also need to make sure you pay attention to the dates, because it will be due by a subsequent date, and if you don't make the payment by that date, then you will have the severance of service fee, which will be a fee that is charged to your account. Then a hold will be put onto your account and you won't be able to register for your next term. So you also need to make sure at those dates. Then the last thing I would say students really need to make sure they pay attention to is the refund dates and the dates for drops and withdrawals. Do understand that a drop is whenever you drop a course but you do stay enrolled in at least one course. A withdrawal is when you disenroll from all courses, leaving you with no credit hours and you are not taking any courses. Whenever that happens, it is a withdrawal, and you need to make sure you pay attention to the withdrawal dates, because there are percentages you will still be charged, even up to the last date, to where you'll be charged for all of your courses, even if you were to officially withdraw from the school. So those are some of the things I think that students really need to pay attention to, because that can really affect your student financials, and you'll have to come to our student financials office, and a lot of those mandates are not reversible at all, so you will have to pay for these payments, and it could affect your education. This video covered the installment plans, adding or dropping a course, deadline dates and optional fees, choosing the right deferral, severance of service fee, and the differences between a drop and a withdrawal.